Hey there, I'm Brandon. This is the Dirt Church Devotional, and I have a question for you. When do you worship? When do you praise God, give Him thanks and glory? Now, maybe it's when you finally make that double or triple, or you didn't die on that trail ride that had so much gravity out there, or maybe when you get a good report from the doctor, or you get that promotion. These are all great times to worship God. But what about before that? What about in the bad times? In 2 Chronicles chapter 20, there's a story about Jehoshaphat, who was the king of Judah. And this one day, he finds out that three different kingdoms had rallied their armies, and they were going to come and attack him and destroy him and destroy Jerusalem and the nation of Judah. Now, this was, I think, Moab and Ammon and Seir, which is Edom. They had all joined together. Huge armies against his little itty bitty tiny army. And he was afraid, he was concerned, and so he gathered all the people and he declared a fast, and they began praying. And partway through this time of prayer, this random guy, in fact, he's so random, I think it's the only time that we ever see his name, and I'll be honest, I don't remember his name now, but he stands up and he gives this prophetic word. And it's interesting because they say he was the son of a Levite. Well, just really this random guy. And he gives this word where the Lord tells him, hey, look, don't be afraid. Be courageous. Go out. Listen, you're not going to have to fight this battle. It's not yours, it's the Lord's, but you do have to suit up and you do have to show up. So go. And they decided, all right, we're gonna trust God. And so they take off, and as they are going out, Jehoshaphat stops and he consults the people and he says, you know what? We need to worship. They didn't wait until the battle was over. They didn't wait until they saw the battle. They decided before the battle, when we're still actually scared, when we're still actually nervous, we've got this word from God, but we're dealing with the reality in front of us. We're going to worship. And so he assembled a group of men to lead the people and to worship and praise God. And you know what it says? It says when they began to sing, when they began to worship God, God sent a spirit of fear among those armies before the nations had even seen each other. The enemy armies heard like thunders and whatever, and they got scared and they got confused and they started attacking each other. And when the Jews came over the hill, all they saw was a bunch of dead enemy. Man, they didn't even have to go and watch the battle. They just began to worship God before the battle. Now listen, there's a couple of great things. Number one, worship before, worship in the midst, worship when it looks bad. That's the best time to worship because that requires faith. Now understand this, the Lord told him, he says, don't be afraid, be courageous. Get this. John Wayne said that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's being afraid and saddling up anyway. We might put it this way, faith isn't the absence of fear. Faith is stepping out and walking in obedience anyway. And you know what, I'm going to throw this in. The presence of fear doesn't mean you lack faith. It's just a reality that we deal with. All right, so here's the challenge. In the midst of your struggle, in the midst of your problem, when you got the bad news and you don't have the good news coming, you haven't heard the good stuff yet, worship, praise God, because the promise is coming. Chew on that. We'll talk to you next time.